With cinema. Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Greg, your local metalhead, and with me is...
Part of the collector. What's up?
Alright, and it's your turn to pick a movie, and you gave me what?
The family.
The
It's
family?
The family.
Yeah, can't talk. Director, Luc Besson.
Luc Besson.
Besson?
Yeah. I
Cast.
think that's the dude that did, Nah, he didn't do anything else, did he?
I don't know, I didn't look at his filmography. He's mostly a producer, and I heard that Martin Scorsese told him, or Robert De Niro told him, why don't you just direct it?
Right.
So he's like, fine, I guess I will direct it.
That was a good call because it's a great movie.
Oh, cast, like I said, Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tommy Lee Jones,
Nothing.
Diane Agron,
Yeah, something like that.
and John DeLeo.
Yep.
Budget $30 million.
Worth every penny.
Gross $78 million worldwide.
Should have made more.
Yeah.
I went and saw it in theaters.
Did you really?
Fuck yeah, I did.
I didn't even know about this movie.
Because you don't love Martin Scorsese like I do.
Yeah, but he executively
It doesn't matter if
produced.
his name's anywhere on that motherfucker. I'm there.
True. This came out 2012, I want to say.
Yep.
And that's around the time me and my wife were getting together, so I was too fascinated by her to really pay attention to anything else. So
Oh, shout out.
yeah.
Yeah. No, 2012, my son was 1 year old.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I was watching movies at home at that point.
Yeah.
But I went out and saw that one. Me and the wife.
Yeah.
We loved it.
I'm surprised I haven't heard more of it. I really didn't know about this movie until you handed it to me.
Well, it's because it's a different take. Like me and you were talking about the other day, it's a different take on a mob movie.
Well, it has a very simple synopsis, which basically this family, Robert De Niro's character is in,
Mhm.
The mob.
Right.
He rats them out, and he gets he rats them out to protect his family. He gets put in protective custody, and they're hunting him and his family down.
Yep.
And they're having to adjust to this new life in Italy? No.
They're in France.
France.
They were in Spain, I think,
Yeah.
at the beginning.
And that's basically this whole movie is them trying to adjust to
Life
living.
and witness protection.
Yeah, and the mob's hunting them down.
Mhm.
Well,
The dude, the mob boss is in prison forever and a day.
yeah.
And that's all he has to do is sit around and search for this dude that put him there.
Well, it looks like a really comfortable prison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the mob runs shit on the inside, my man. They're doing life, but it ain't life like you and me would do.
Yeah.
We were in jail.
So, that's basically the synopsis of the movie. There's not much more to this. It's a very simple story.
It's a beautiful story, though.
So, I guess we'll run down the whatever happened. So, at the beginning of the movie, one of the hitman takes out this family.
It's like opening credits.
Yeah, opening credits. He takes out this family, cuts this dude's finger off, and takes it to the head honcho. And he's like, it's not him. And meanwhile, we're watching this family move into this new house. Now, this is where I have a problem with this movie. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
They give me no indication that he was in the mob. There was like you said, after they get to the house, he drives away, dumps a body into
he
a
doesn't
grave.
drive away. He just backs it in.
Yeah, in their
just
yard.
backs it into the yard.
And he dumps a body and starts burying it. That doesn't indicate to me that he was in the mob. That just indicates he killed people, and now he's getting rid of the evidence. So,
Well, I recognized, at the beginning with the hitman, obviously, somebody is looking for somebody. You know?
yeah,
And
I get that. But it was so, I wish it would have done a better job at explaining what was going on. I feel like they dropped us in the middle of this story, and we're gonna figure it out for ourselves.
Doesn't he, at the beginning, doesn't he have that little spiel about my grandfather carried Carlo Gambino's casket, stuff like that? He doesn't do all that
I
yet?
rewatched it yesterday, and it really just starts on him killing this family. And that's where, it wasn't until almost halfway through this movie, I finally pieced things together.
Right.
I'm like, oh.
Oh, I mean, when you start seeing the other boss and...
Well, that's the thing. I'm having to piece this movie together. I shouldn't have to figure this movie out. They should be telling me what's going on.
Huh. I never looked at it like that. I guess because I got the premise before I ever watched the movie.
Yeah, I went into this cold. Like, I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was Robert De Niro was in it, and Martin Scorsese executively produced it.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know anything about this movie.
But once you found out it was a mob movie or mob themed,
Mob themed movie?
yeah, because that's why I thought you'd like it, because we enjoy Casino and Goodfellas and stuff like that. Like, we enjoy those movies the most out of the few that we do agree on.
Yeah. The problem I have with this movie is it's trying to be a comedy mob movie. And I get it. I had a couple of chuckles throughout this movie.
Like dark comedy, though.
Yeah, but it's labeled comedy on everything.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
Oh.
So I picked up on the comedy part, but at the same time, it's trying to play itself as like a serious mob movie too.
Right.
And it, to me, does not do a good job at balancing the two. It's kind of like black and white. Like, okay, it's funny here. Okay, it's serious here. Okay, it's funny here. Okay, it's serious here. And it just flip flops back and forth, but it doesn't feel like a
I thought it
cohesive-
made it authentic, because if you think back to Goodfellas, you think back to Casino, it's got funny parts that are being serious.
Mhm.
You know, like Joe Pesci will say something or make a fucking crack at somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
See,
they're being serious, but at the same time, they're being funny.
that's the thing. Those movies, Goodfellas, Casino, it's an overarching serious mob movie that has comedy elements like sprinkled in through it,
Right.
which I get that. This is an overarching comedy mobster movie with like serious parts sprinkled in, and that doesn't work for me.
Really? See, I
Yeah.
thought that's what I liked about it, because it was different. It didn't
Yeah.
go that same route that a guy starts off with nothing and he comes up through the ranks and
Mm-hmm.
people getting killed and he ends up snitching. It wasn't like a normal one. This guy's already done all that.
Yeah.
This is the part of the story that you don't get, is not the glory that you see on the TV. You know, where they're all in the suits and
Mm-hmm.
you know all the notoriety they had.
This is
Right.
basically what happens after Goodfellas.
Exactly, and that's what I liked about it. Like,
Yeah, I don't hate the premise of the movie. I just don't like the way the story was told.
right.
That's just
I could see that, but that's what I loved about it. Like
Mhm.
this guy, like, he thinks he did the right thing, even though he knows he's a rat, but like he's still killing people. Like,
Yeah, he still has that mobster mentality. Like this guy, he's having trouble with his pipes. It's running brown water. He's trying to figure out how to fix it. And this
calls a plumber over.
yeah, he calls a plumber over and he's trying to rip him off. So, you know what? He breaks like 36
He breaks his leg. And,
yeah,
like,
he breaks almost all of his bones. He's laid up in the hospital, and he's like, "That's what happens when you try to rip us off." Like, I don't take shit from people, and
Right.
I get that. Those are the parts I like about this movie. When it's being like a real mob movie,
right.
it kills it for me, and I love it. But it's when it's trying to be funny, it's like it loses me.
I just liked it. I just like the part about it where it's just like, this is what this family was willing to go through to help to keep each other together. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, it's the man just goes into witness protection, and then the family's just kind of left out there
Yeah,
because they don't normally touch family. But when you snitch, it's open season on your entire family. So,
that's another thing. I don't connect with any of these characters. Like, I don't care about any of them. When I finally realized like he snitched on the mob and he's in protective custody, I don't give a shit about you anymore. Like, you snitched. Like, I watch mob movies because I love their camaraderie. I love the connection they have with each other. But when you become like an outsider, I don't give a shit about you anymore. Like, I felt like I needed to have this guy killed too. Like, fuck you, man. You snitched.
Really?
I don't give a fuck if you're trying to protect your family. Like, they would protect your family because they are family.
Right.
But fuck you, man. You snitched. I don't know. That's just my take on it. This is an outside point of view on
Right.
the mobster thing.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the spin of it that makes me not care about your character. Well, like, in good.
And I would 9 out of 10 times I would agree with you, because I'm the same way. The same thing I love about Goodfellas and Casino is, like, we're rooting for the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this guy was a bad guy too, but like, he thought he was doing the right thing, even though he knew deep down that he wasn't changing shit. Like, he was still going to be a bad person,
Mm-hmm.
but like, he just wanted his family to be safe.
I guess, but it still just makes me not give a shit about him or his stupid fucking family. Like, they try to paint these kids as like little mobsters, whatever.
Little menaces.
Yeah, the girl has like a temper problem and she beats anyone up that gets in her way. The kid is supposed to be this like super smart, like business hustler guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, the kids just fumble around. They don't know what the fuck to do
because they're not trained killers. They're children.
Yeah, but in the
they
beginning,
end up taking out like 2 of the motherfuckers
by accident.
Yeah, man, it happens. That's what the real part about it is, man. These kids fucking fumbled their way to a victory.
Okay, well, I guess don't paint them as these badass, like, mobster, quote-unquote, heroes.
Well, it's like in anybody
They have all
else.
these abilities.
I think it's kind of like how anybody in life is, man. You might paint yourself as something, but when you get in that situation, like, you're going to find out if you're really like that or not. You're really about that life.
I don't watch a movie for real life. If they're going to paint them as badasses, they should have been badasses at the end of the movie. That would have been so much better if the girl, like, had this temper problem and started beating up these grown-ass men. Like, that would have been cool.
Then it would have been unbelievable, though.
Well, it's supposed to be a comedy. Like, it paints everything as, like, a cartoon already. So if they really like took it to that next level and just made it fun, I could have rode with it.
I feel like it's like a spin-off of Kick-Ass or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. And I love De Niro.
I didn't hate this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I told you that before. I didn't hate it, but I really don't care for it either.
There's some parts in it where I just fucking die laughing. Like, it's just the greatest thing ever. Like... Like when he's given his rules for why he's not a piece of shit, like why he's a good guy, like, why he's a good person. He's like, when anybody gives me a job, I follow it all the way to the end. And they're just dumping this dude in a vial of acid. Like, that shit was great.
Yeah, exactly. That's the cartoony part. It's like, I know that shit like probably really happened in real life, but they're painting it as this like cartoon. It looked like
when I ran my neighborhood, you could hold your head high. Nobody ever got stolen from. Like, nobody ever got robbed. And he's just like standing out there in his Cadillac. Like, I thought it was great, man. It's like I said, it was a different take on the basic like mob movie.
Yeah,
it was. I don't know. I enjoyed it just because it was different.
It was different, but it was very like based on mob movies instead of just being its own thing.
Here's a fun fact for you.
You want to get in the fun facts already?
I know. I just want to give you this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Just one. You know, De Niro was kind of like done with the mobster thing. He didn't want to do any more mob movies.
Yeah.
And like when he did this, that's what he said gave him the want to do The Irishman with Scorsese. That's coming out at the end of this year or next year or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
if it wasn't for the family,
he wouldn't be doing it. Okay.
Which Scorsese is directing.
Which I'm pumped about.
So yeah, man, you should enjoy this movie a lot more.
Just for that.
Yeah. Just for anything.
I don't know. I actually tried rewatching this yesterday, and I got halfway through and just turned it off because it just doesn't do anything for me.
Shit, the fucking part where the kid's at the train station and the hitmen get off and it plays the Gorillaz. I've never heard a more perfectly timed theme song for that. And it makes no sense why it goes so well with it.
Yeah.
But them motherfuckers, they get off there. They got all the fucking guns and shit in the bags. It's just your typical mob hitman.
Yeah.
Mustaches and, just... I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every bit of it.
Okay, well, let's talk about some things I really liked about this movie.
Yeah.
They do subtext for whenever they're speaking Italian. And the subtext, or French rather, because they're in France. The subtext is kind of like sprinkled throughout the scene instead of being like scroll text across the bottom. I enjoyed that. He mixed it up a bit. He did something a little different.
Right.
I really enjoyed that. I thought that was cool. The transition. I love the transitions in this movie. Yep. I thought it was really cool.
I think I made a good movie.
Yeah, as someone that doesn't do a lot of directing, he did a good job. Like, directing wise, I think it was pretty solid.
Right. It's a solid movie in general.
The story's just weak for me.
Made its budget back.
I guess,
you
barely.
You haven't gave me a movie yet that's made its budget back.
Yes, I have.
What?
No, I don't think I have, actually.
No, fuck, you haven't.
I was trying to think enemy, but...
No, that probably didn't either.
Oh, well.
Old Jake Gyllenhaal took a loss on that. Well, no, he got paid. He wouldn't have done it if he had got paid. But
Well, that's the thing. Like you keep giving me movies that have like doubled their budget or whatever, and I'm giving you ones that are like half, maybe if
it
they're
doesn't
lucky,
matter. A
half their
good movie
budget.
is a good fucking movie, bro. Clerks cost 10 G's. Kevin Smith made fucking gold.
Yeah, he's still making money on that, I'm sure.
Exactly. So that ain't got shit to do with it.
You got a good point. You got me there. But if we turned it on its head and we start pulling up Rotten Tomato scores, then it might
Oh
be a
no,
different
man!
story.
See, I don't watch that bullshit. I don't even know that exists in my mind. I watch a movie and then I judge it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I'm judging it too, but you can't base a movie off its money it's made. That's
So
basically.
you're telling me if I would have looked up the Rotten Tomato scores on Kroll and fucking Enemy and shit like that, that would have made me want to watch those movies more?
Not Kroll, but yeah. Enemy
or
has
Babadook. Like,
you know what? I'm tired of like saying all this stuff. We're gonna talk about it.
all right.
We're gonna. So what do we start with? Enemy?
Yeah, let me know if Enemy made its budget back.
I'm not talking about budget. I'm talking about Rotten Tomato scores.
Wow, it ain't got shit on Rotten Tomatoes.
You really don't think it does?
Nah. Because they're probably like, what's with the fucking spiders? You'll see a comment down in one of the reviews that says, fuck you, Greg.
Fuck you, Greg. Rotten Tomatoes score is 71% on Enemy.
Is how much?
71%.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now let's look at the family. Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, you got me in suspense. What's going on?
28%.
Fuck you. 28?
28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, like, that's stupid. Are you kidding me?
So yeah, it made its budget, but nobody likes it.
So you telling me you didn't enjoy The Family more than you enjoy Enemy?
Fuck no.
And that's why we do this fucking podcast, because I can't get you to agree that this was a great movie.
No, I didn't.
And you can't admit that the movies you give me are shit. But this is why I love it too, man.
Yeah.
God, I can't. 28%? That's bullshit, bro. That is fucking terrible. 28%. But that Enemy got 71.
Yep.
You didn't even show me the phone. I bet that shit. I bet you made that.
I probably
shit up.
lied about it, but
God.
everyone has phones; they can look it up.
Oh man, 71 to 28.
I wasn't gonna pull up Kroll because that wouldn't have been good.
No, is it possible
see
to
what
get a
Kroll
negative?
is?
No, I don't want to look at Kroll because it'll just make it. It'll make it worse.
No, I don't think Kroll.
I have no kingdom. God, that's hilarious. 28%. What's wrong, America? De Niro.
Yeah, see, Kroll has 32%. So
That's bullshit.
I mean, not audience has 51%, but
That's even worse. That's even worse, bro.
oh man,
28%.
but you know, what even happened into this movie? They killed all the mobsters and they live happily ever after.
No, Tommy Lee moves him again
Move them again.
because they saved his life.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't mention Tommy Lee is the
He's
person
the Fed that got De Niro to turn.
yeah.
So like he understands him. He caught him. He was the one investigating him. Shit like
Mhm.
that. So he holds a lot of respect for him. He goes, the only guy that could ever catch me or some shit like that.
Yeah, so he's the one that's relocating them and giving them
And
identities.
he's tired
and
because
stuff.
he knows he's still fucking up. Like he's still doing bad, but he can't
Mhm.
prove it.
Yeah.
If he says it like a few different times, if I catch you, if I find out you're killing people, Giovanni, you're out of here. I will pull your status. And you're on your own.
Nice little fun fact. This is the first time they worked together, Robert De Niro and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, well they don't make the same kind of movies.
Nah.
Tommy Lee Jones is more into like, I don't know. Tommy Lee's got a wide array of movies.
He does.
So
But
does
it's
De Niro,
not
though.
he needs to be in more gangster movies. I could see Tommy Lee as being like a like hitman for the mob. That'd be badass.
He's old as shit now. He ain't doing nothing
That's
like
not
that.
really it would have been if he was
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
heyday.
Oh shit, he was great in The Fugitive,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved him in what's the name of that? The one with Benicio del Toro, where Hunted. That's a pretty good movie. You should watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
I don't think I have it, but
Mm.
but yeah, Tommy Lee does some good movies. Oh, The Men in Black, bro.
Yeah, Men in Black. That's a staple.
I love those.
Yeah. Well, I like the first one.
Yeah. The third one got a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can get into our little fun fact. I don't have a lot on this movie, but I do
Alright.
have like
Yeah, tell me.
the dog in the movie. His name was Malvita, which is based on the movie or the book that the movie's based on. That was pretty cool.
Oh.
And Malvita translates to criminal life. That's a cool little
That is a fun fact.
like thrown in there.
Yeah. So this was done off a book?
Yeah. It was based off a book. It actually has a sequel. The book does.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, dude. You got to make this.
Yeah.
You got to make the sequel now. That'd be amazing.
Well,
De Niro should do that shit.
should he?
Yeah.
He's getting old as shit too.
All right. I'll watch it.
Another little fun fact. This is more of like a goof, but I thought it was so funny that I had to add it in. So Michelle Pfeiffer says the phrase shitstorm.
Uh-huh.
This is based in 1995. Shitstorm didn't become common until like 2009, 2010.
Uh-huh.
Like we didn't use that phrase until that time.
But that movie's not like
It's based in 2005. I mean 1995.
that's what the time frame is?
Yeah.
Huh.
And there's a whole bunch of other ones, like the type of car she drives in the movie
Right.
hasn't even been made yet. And
I didn't know what did they ever say that it's a 95?
I didn't see specifically, but on the sources that I was
I
looking
just
at,
imagined that it was just like a poor part of France, you know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
why everything looked outdated and shit.
it's supposed to, all of my sources say it was supposed to take place in 1995. That's when,
I gotcha.
yeah.
Huh.
That's what makes all the goofs so like silly, because none of this stuff existed.
Yeah, there's
back in
flat screen TVs and shit.
Yeah.
There's like plasmas.
Another fun fact is the school in France, they don't have 12th grade.
Really?
Yeah, their school system is set up completely different, and their schools don't look like that at all. They said it was basically an American school with French kids in it.
Wow.
Oh, and
It's
another,
believable.
yeah, these are mostly like goof. I remembered all the goofs, but none of the fun facts.
I told you to make yourself love it, and all you did was find those things. Dude.
Yeah, find things I hate about it.
Yes.
Another one is those kids driving, trying to pick up his daughter. Even at 18, they wouldn't have been able to drive, like legal age.
Really?
Yeah, and those kids were probably about 15 in the movie. Kids aren't allowed to drive at that age in France.
I didn't know they were 15. I thought they were like 16, 17.
Still not able to drive.
How old you got to be in France to drive? 20?
I don't know.
25?
That was just something I saw. I didn't write it down, so I don't know.
Huh.
But I remember reading it.
Should have loved it.
I didn't hate it. I just don't like it.
Go find his family and make them pay. I love that shit. Don Lucchese, are you sure? I'm sure.
Yeah. I love the parts where he's trying to play it straight, but he's having a cookout with all of his neighbors,
Yeah.
and there's like flashes of him like fucking them up.
Mm.
That was pretty funny. I like that. It was amusing. Like him trying to do the right thing, but you're seeing what he really wants to do.
Yeah, that was great.
But then you see
Puts his
moments
head on
where
the
he,
fucking grill.
yeah, and then you see moments where he does what he really wants to do. So it's like inconsistent. Like him fucking up the
When he
plumber.
thinks he can get away with it.
Yeah.
That's what's
He
so
fell
good.
down some stairs. Shouldn't have broken this many bones.
We had a tool bag. Yeah, maybe that made him off balance. He was great, man. De Niro killed it.
Yeah, it wasn't his worst role. Like, I feel like he phoned it in a little bit, but he was having fun with it. Like, whenever the bat breaks, he's like, hold on, I'm not done with you. And he goes and gets a fucking golf club, I think.
It's like a field hockey thing or some shit. Yeah. He goes, that would have never happened with a Louisville.
Yeah, it has some funny moments. I cackled a couple times.
And look, when the kid's trying to make the bootleg soccer card, he's like, what kind of a fucking last name is this? Some dude's name's like 35 letters. That shit was great.
So,
Yeah, what was your overall score of the movie, man?
my overall rating is go watch Goodfellas and don't think about this movie.
God, that's just fucking disrespectful, sir.
You could pass this one. Just watch Goodfellas. And if you want to know what happens in this movie, just go watch Goodfellas again.
No. This is the sequel to Goodfellas.
After Goodfellas, go watch Casino.
I'd never tell somebody not to watch Goodfellas. Definitely watch Goodfellas, but watch this one too because it's funny as shit.
Yeah, this
And
is
it's
supposed to
great.
take place after Goodfellas.
This is the part we don't see, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what
Yeah.
Greg's not appreciating here.
It just didn't do a good job with it, in my opinion.
Well,
What do you rate your own movie?
what do I give it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
No.
Solid 8, bro.
Out of 10?
Yeah. Solid 8. I feel good about that Ocho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, just give me my DVD back. I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight.
I already broke it. I'm sorry.
Fuck you, you broke it. I'm gonna start doing fucking clay pigeons with your fucking DVDs. Jesus. A good movie.
Well,
You know what I thought about that? I know we already did Babadook, but I just wanted to throw that in there, man. It kind of reminded me of Sucker Punch with that lady. A little bit, the blonde.
how so?
Just how tortured she was. Like, that girl did a good job of selling it, but,
Mhm.
like, that was the low-budget version of that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I have no idea. You can cut all that shit out.
Well, they said, they did say the girl from Sucker Punch, like, some of the parts where she's crying, she's literally crying in real life
Right.
because she's having to do these torturous workouts to stay in shape because that's what, like, Zack Snyder wanted.
Wow.
That's pretty insane. So, in that aspect, I get what you're saying. Like, this is what she looks like after the movie because she had to put her body through so much.
Well, what did that lady have to go to in her mind to do that fucking performance in Babadook, then?
I have to say, like, Babadook stuck with you. You're talking about it on the next podcast. Like, you're really fucked up by that movie.
It was a fucked up movie, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Changed me.
Well, that's The Family.
That is
And
the family, man.
I'm going to go ahead and just throw both of our movies out there next episode because we do these 2 at a time. So, fuck them, what doesn't matter.
All right.
I'm going to give you Equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Yeah, with Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. I fuck with Christian Bale, man.
Hell yeah, this is one of his earlier roles.
All right.
And then you're going to give me Ghost Dog, I think you said.
Ghost Dog. Yeah, Way of the Samurai.
Yeah, I was going to give you something else, but you kind of explained Ghost Dog a little to me. So I figured Equilibrium would go like hand in hand with that.
Yeah, it didn't win anything, but I think Forrest Whitaker does a good job.
I love me some Forrest Whitaker, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping Christian Bale, it's not one of his shit movies.
No, it's a pretty fun movie. Like, I don't think it's going to be like the Babadook. Like,
All right.
you're going to enjoy it.
All right. Well,
Well,
we will see, won't we?
Yep. On the next time, we will be talking about Equilibrium. See you then.
Later.